You're watching Learn Piano Live video clips on YouTube.
Hey everybody, I want to show you how to break down Canon in D. It helps if you don't think of this song as like a linear song that goes all the way straight through, but instead think of it as an 8-note song that just repeats itself with lots of different variations on top of it. So you can make the song either as short as 8 notes or as long as 8 times infinity, right? And that's what length of song you want. So if you look this up on the internet, you'll find some that are like 1 page long. This is Canon in D, and then some that are like 14 pages long. This is the real Canon in D. They're all kind of right. So your 8 notes that you need are D, and then A, and then B, F sharp, G, D, G, A. Now, each of those notes, you can just play that right there, and like that's the beginning of Canon in D. Great introduction. On top of each of those notes, you have every other note. So on top of the D, you can play this note and this note and this note. The only problem with this one is the Fs actually aren't allowed, so it'd have to be D, F sharp, and A. And then on top of the A, that second note that you were playing, you can play every other note. Again, C sharp's not allowed, or C's not allowed, so you have to play C sharp instead, right? So the first one is D with these notes on top, F sharp and A, then A with C sharp and E on top, and then B, every other note, so B, D, and then again F's not allowed, so we have to play F sharp, and then F sharp, and then every other note, so F sharp, A, C is not allowed, so C sharp instead, and then G is going to be G and then B and D, every other note. And then the D1 is going to have on top of it, again, F sharp and A. And then back to the G with the B and the D on top. And then back to the A with the C sharp and the E on top. So if we just do that much, it sounds like this. So that's like a great second variation for Canon in D. So the first time through, you just play your notes, those ones, and then the next time through, put your other notes on top. And then you can also take these notes and like double them up or repeat them or stick them in different places. So for example, if we take on this D, we take this one right here, we take the middle note and we put, instead of playing that F sharp, we play that F sharp. It's still D, F sharp, A, but it's D, F sharp, A. So we can do that. And then there's your third variation. Same exact notes, just play it a little bit differently. We do the same thing, only we add in the same note that we play on the bottom. So it's on the D, I'm just gonna put a D on the top. So, right, then we have and there's your fourth or I don't know, fifth variation, whatever we're on. So that's your left hand stuff. Is you're just gonna play every other note and then find different ways to vary that. So if I do a whole lot more than that, maybe. Right? Those are the exact same notes, just playing them more times over. So maybe that's your 6th variation. So that's your left hand stuff. Those are your 8 notes. And then your right hand is just going to put just various melodies on top of that, usually trying to put one of the notes from what you're doing down here in your right hand. So once you have this thing down, then we can pick one of those 3 notes out of each of those chords and play that one at the beginning. So at the beginning, maybe we'd start with that. So when we're playing this D, we'd play the D from that chord right there, right? And then when we get to the A right here, we can maybe play this note right here, that C sharp, play that in our right hand. So that so far would be something like, when we get to the B chord, maybe we'd play the B up here, right? it really doesn't matter. As long as you pick one of the notes out of your left-hand chord to play in your right hand, then they're going to sound great together, and then it's going to sound like Canon in D. So there's your 7th variation, is picking out one note. And then there are like these common like Canon in D, like the actual notes from the song that make up these different variations. So let's go over a few of those variations, and then that's the whole song. Literally, it's those 8 notes with a bunch of variations on top of it. Rinse and repeat. Just go again, then go again, then go again. Make it more complicated, make it simpler, and that's the whole thing. So here are some other variations. Here we go. All right, so melody 1. Here we go. We'd go F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A, B, C sharp. And so that's variation 1. For variation 2, we're just going to basically do the exact same notes, but put another note underneath it, right? So on this one, we're going to go down 2 notes and play this one right here. When we get to this E, we're going to go down 2 notes, play this one, except that remember, C's aren't allowed. It has to be a C sharp. So it'd be that. And we just follow along like that. So that would sound something like this. F sharp with the D underneath it, E with a C sharp underneath, D with a B underneath, C sharp with an A underneath, B with a G underneath, A with an F sharp underneath, B with a G underneath, C sharp with an A underneath. Let's check out variation number 3. F sharp, A, G, F sharp, D, F sharp, E, D, B, D, F sharp, G, B, A, G, and then maybe land on an F sharp for the beginning of your next variation. Let's check out variation number 4. Now, I'm using this fingering over here, which is one fingering. You shouldn't do that. I'm just trying to get all the rest of my fingers out of the way so you can see what notes that I'm playing. Next variation, here we go. Now, don't forget, on any of these variations, like if one is too hard, then just skip it. Go on to something else. It doesn't matter. As long as you're looping these 8 notes and playing something a little bit different each time or every other time, then you're safe. So don't worry about the ones that are too difficult. Just take the ones that are easy and maybe work on, one extra one that's a little bit difficult to, increase your ability just a little bit. Let's check out another variation. All right, this is where things start to get a little bit more complex, but again, repeat this over and over, follow these notes, and here's some other examples for those of you who feel like what we've done so far is crazy boring. Here we go. Here's another variation. Here's one last one. Again, you can make up your own for these as long as you're following in this no C's allowed, no F's allowed, and each time your left hand is changing to a new, set of one of those 8 notes, that your right hand is playing one of the notes out of that group. So in other words, on the first chord, you should start with a D or an F sharp or an A, and then when you get to go to that A, your right hand should be playing an A or a C sharp or an E. But as long as you follow those rules, you can pretty much make up anything you want. Here's an example. Hope this goes well. So almost random notes, kind of going stepwise and making sure they land on one of the chord tones each time. But that sounds like Canon in D. If I played that for someone and said, what song is that? I'd say it's Canon in D. So it's 8 notes. You gotta do some left hand work over here to make sure that's happening. And then if you have extra time, throw in some right hand notes as well. But that's basically how the song is built. It's these 8 notes repeated over and over, and then lots of variations on top of it. Good luck, have fun.
Now click left or right for online lessons, or subscribe to keep up to date with the latest Learn Piano Live YouTube clips.